What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Seasons. This is episode number 23, and we're starting today's episode off using Genk again. Now, of course, if you didn't see the last episode and you didn't see what happened in the last game, we were using Genk and we came up against a guy using Sounders, and we were playing very well. We'd hit the bar or possibly the post, and we were looking quite strong, looking much better than my opponent. And as I was going through one-on-one, my opponent, well, he may not have quit, I don't know, it just seemed like he did. It was quite convenient regardless that we disconnected and we got awarded a loss, and I didn't think that was fair. So because of that, I bought an extra game from the catalogue and we chose Genk again. But we got off to the worst possible start in this game. There was no excuses for this. 13 minutes in, my opponent takes the lead. Really poor defending by me, and he is in front in this game. But in the 25th minute, we come through here. Eventually, as Highland wins us the ball, plays it inside towards his man. Quick little turn past his man and gets taken down by Silva. And the referee gives a penalty. And at first, I didn't think it was a penalty, and I thought it was quite harsh. But as I watched it back on the replay, it was actually quite hard to see because the man actually ran across the camera. But if you watch it back on the replay, when he comes in to make the tackle, he comes across the body of my player, and that's why he gets to the ball first. So penalty to us. And I guess some referees may not have given it, but if you're going to come through the man to win the ball, there's always that possibility that a referee will give a penalty. So penalty to us, and we stood up with Buffel. We've got a 100% record so far, and it continues. That is now 7 out of 7, or possibly 8 out of 8 penalties scored. So good penalty there, and we are 1-1 now in the scoreline. So back on level terms, but in the 44th minute, my opponent comes through again here, and I just couldn't seem to stop him from breaking free. You know, I kept on putting the challenges in, but my teammates just didn't seem to be strong enough to win the ball back off the opponents. And eventually, after he crossed the ball across the face of goal, simple pass across, Valeron got his second goal of the game to make it 2-1 to Las Palmas. So I wasn't playing very well in this game, to be honest. Defensively, I was all over the place, and in the 57th minute, he was still in the lead, but as Highland wins us the ball back again, he kept on doing that all game. We played the ball through towards Mboyo. It's a really nice touch to take it around the last defender's challenge and then puts it into the back of the net. The goalkeeper got a touch, but it wasn't enough, and we made it 2-2. We're back on level terms again. Look at the way he swings his legs over the slide challenge. Really nice by Mboyo, and it is indeed Genk 2, Las Palmas 2, and I'm very pleased to be back on level terms for the second time in this game. But from the kickoff, my opponent gives the ball away. Now we launch the ball forward towards Mboyo. Silva flicks it backwards. We win it back though. The ball gets played over the top towards Buffel. He loses out in the air, and I couldn't make it 3-2 there and take the lead for the first time. Really bad miss on the one-on-one, and it was still 2-2. And in the 69th minute, my opponent comes through. Silva chips the ball over the top towards his number 7. He's got the pace on my defender. Plays it inside towards his man, and I can't pronounce this guy's name, but he was having a field day for my opponent. He kept on running through with the pace, and I think it's Rajo or something like that, Araujo, but he made it 3-2 anyway, and I just couldn't seem to stop my opponent. He was really good. Offensively, he was so strong, and I just couldn't stop him breaking free. Kept on taking the chances as well. That made it 3-2 to Las Palmas, and he looked as though he was going to win the game, but with 8 minutes to go, we win the ball back here with Cisse giving it to his man. Eventually work our way down the left hand side, chip it inside towards Buffel, who holds off the challenge of the last man, puts him on the floor really with the strength, and blasts the ball into the bottom corner and makes it 3-3. So we equalise, and that is how the game finishes, a 3-3 draw. And really, to be honest, I'm pleased we got a draw in that game, and I think a draw was a fair result, even though, you know, he might have argued he could have edged it with a couple more shots that he had on the goal. But to be honest, I think a draw was a perfectly fair result. But I couldn't believe that he led the game on 3 separate occasions yet failed to win. He must have been having his hands in his head at that stage, because that was really poor to let a lead slip on 3 separate occasions in a single game. But anyway, following that, I decided to use Las Palmas. Obviously, we're continuing with the feel of playing with our opponent's team from the last game into our new game, and we chose Las Palmas. I think they're based in the Canary Islands, Las Palmas. Am I thinking of them, or possibly another team? But anyway, the Spanish side, regardless, are playing Liga Adelante, and we came up against Seattle Sounders. So I was thinking, okay, got a side using the American team again. I wonder if they're going to quit when we're going through one-on-one at a certain stage, but still I felt relatively confident, even though the Sounders have some very good players themselves. But the first chance fell to us with Araujo, and I ended up hitting the post from the one-on-one. Really bad miss there, but a few minutes later, from a goal kick, he passed it straight to my striker, and it's a very nice goal indeed. Quick little Berber spin into a flip-flap, and a good finish past the goalkeeper to make it 1-0 to Las Palmas, and that was a very nice finish indeed. This guy definitely looks as though the type of player I might think about signing in career mode one day. He's got decent decent pace, 4-star skills, I think he had a 4-star weak foot as well, and a good striker. But in the 30th minute we're through again here, this time with Valor on, holds off Marshall, shoots, but the goalkeeper makes the save, and eventually DeAndre Yedlin clears for my opponent. So still 1-0, but in the 63rd minute we get the ball back here, and just try and pass the ball around, because in this game I was doing quite well at retaining possession. You know, my opponent didn't really have any chances, to be honest, to report. Only one really in the entire game, which wasn't even worth showing in the highlights. I was playing very well and I was passing the ball around really nicely, and this resulted in a very nice goal. Not too many passes, but of course passing goals are quite hard to score online because your opponents always put you under so much pressure and you can't pass the ball as well and create too much space. But that was a very, very nice goal indeed. A few quick passes, good build up, and a very, very good finish. 2 fake shots in a row, which is always a little bit, I don't know, sort of cheap and easy, I guess. But a first time fake shot to control the ball, which was chipped up in the air, was really nice around the last defender. And then the good fake shot around the goalkeeper was nice too. So that made it 2-0, a very nice goal. And in the 81st minute here, we get the ball back again. Back heel it towards Castellano, give it to Silva. And again, we're just passing the ball around. No need to concede sloppy possession like I have been doing over the past few episodes. Just get a good feel for the ball with the team. They work the ball around really nicely, so all we got to do is create space, pick our moments and get ourselves inside. That's exactly what we did here. Momo with the fake shot, plays it towards the edge of the area, the pass comes in and Araujo scores his 3rd goal of the game, gets his hat-trick, makes it 3-0, and that was a really, really nice goal. I think I counted 10 or possibly 11 passes in that build-up before the goal was scored, and again, that may not be too many, but again, online, on FIFA, your opponents put you under a lot of pressure. You never really pass the ball around as much as you like to. Most goals only have like 2 or 3 passes, to be honest. They're just simple chip free balls forward or whatever else. But still, I thought those 2 goals were pretty nice myself. Maybe not, but I thought they were okay. But anyway, we won the game by 3-0 as my opponent quit straight after that goal. And I was glad to get a win as well, because we haven't really been playing well of late, as you guys have been seeing. We're in a higher division now. We've been getting pretty unlucky with some of the results and some of the games where we've been smacking the woodwork and having our goalkeepers just playing terribly. But you know, to be honest, I guess I take the blame for all of it, and I should do really. But even so, it's quite frustrating. Now I'm in a higher division. This always seems to happen to me online. I get into the higher divisions, and even though the opponents do get better, and that's totally fine, I accept that, it's mainly due to me not being able to handle the pressure that cost me a lot of results and a lot of games. And in this game, I did indeed choose Sounders and came up against Real Betis. Sounders, of course, with Obafemi Martins up top, the rapid Nigerian striker who hits the he doesn't hit the post, he hits the goalkeeper right from the off there, and it's still 0-0. So I should have scored, but I didn't, and it was still 0-0. But in the 10th minute here, my opponent gives the ball away to Clint Dempsey, who's got 5-star skills on seasons, which is very nice indeed. He shoots it from range, but the ball goes just over the bar and out for a goal kick. In the 19th minute, though, we're through again here. Clint Dempsey playing a brilliant through ball into Martins, rounds the goalkeeper, and we end up putting the ball into the back of the net quite simply. Almost messed up there as well. When I took the ball round, I didn't want to have that first touch. I wanted to just blast it, but I'm actually glad I did, because it ended up resulting in a goal, and that's the main thing. But in the 32nd minute here, I was absolutely livid, because I won a free kick as Martins got taken down on a 1-on-1 with only a few yards between him and the goalkeeper, and he was the last man. The challenge from Piccini came in from behind, and the referee only gave a booking, and I was like, there's no way that's a booking. Do you know what I mean? He's the last man. It's a cynical challenge. He takes him down from behind. That is a red card all day long, and I was absolutely livid about that it was only a booking. But we did have a free kick. I struck it with the American Clint Dempsey towards the near post. Pretty tame effort. The goalkeeper spills it though. Marshall ends up hitting the post from the rebound. I was thinking, it's just not going to be my day, but we did get a bit of stroke of fortune, because from the header that hits the post, my opponent walks into his goalkeeper and it ends up going into his own goal. So finally a stroke of fortune, deservedly so in my opinion. I was still livid about the red card, the booking that should have been a red card, and that's why straight from kickoff I wasn't really concentrating. Am I defending? Oh my goodness, seriously, just seriously, that is a moment right there where I watch it back right now and just think to myself, what the hell was I trying to do? Seriously, that was absolutely shambolic, and my opponent's back in the game directly from kickoff. And again, I was just panicking. As soon as he ran forward, I knew he was going to score, because I just couldn't seem to contain him. But in the 43rd minute, I missed a sitter with Obafemi Martins, ran through 1-on-1, fake shot around the last defender, and put the shot wide. An absolutely terrible miss, and it was still 2-1. I could have wrapped the game up on so many occasions already in the first half, and I was still really frustrated as well, because I really do feel as though my opponent should have been down to 10 men, and if he was red carded, that would have changed the game game completely, and I definitely would have gone on to win this game, I would have felt, because the way I played in the last game, passing the ball around and using the space, I would have done that against 10 men and surely would have created a lot more opportunities. And as you'll see here, directly from his goal kick, he collects the ball. Eventually it comes up top towards Ruben Castro. I'm just holding off, don't want to lunge in because he was playing very well and looking quite threatening. And eventually I make a challenge, but it comes back to Alonso, who sweats it across the face of goal, and it's turned at the far post. And that's how the game finished as well. Nothing really happened in the second half. So the game did finish as a 2-2 draw. And again, I was really frustrated because I blame myself for not winning that game, because I blame myself all the time. It was my fault. I let a 2-goal lead slip in the space of a few minutes. It is all my fault, but really, he should have been down to 10 men, and that would have changed the entire game, and there's no getting away from that. But even so, it's my fault. We just have to try and bounce back in the next episode. And as always, guys, a big thank you for watching the video. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed today's episode, then please do leave a like, because that is much appreciated, and of course, it really does help my channel out. And I'll see you for the next episode of Seasons very soon.